Today, Husky Mania. It's the toughest ticket on the West Coast. For the first time since 1953, the Washington Huskies can clinch an outright conference title, and they'll celebrate in front of a sold-out home crowd. John Brockman's 4 years of blue-collar effort may have finally paid off, unless arch rival, conference foes, the other team that shares Washington in their title, the Washington State Cougars, bust this party. And they have the tools to spoil the fun. Taylor Rochester's proven himself in big games. Klay Thompson is a Pac-10 Freshman of the Year candidate, as is his Washington counterpart, Isaiah Thomas. There is star power and real drama about to unfold. Washington State looking to upset the Huskies. Pac-10 excitement is now.
Neither freezing temperatures nor the forecast of 4 inches of snow in the Seattle area will deter these fans from being where they feel they need to be, and that is inside Bank of America Arena here in Seattle, where it is on this Saturday, the only show in town. It's the Washington State Cougars and the hometown Washington Huskies. And the Huskies will have their fate in their own hands. UCLA is doing its part down in Southern California against Oregon today. That means if Washington wins this game, they'll be the undisputed Pac-10 Conference champions for the first time since 1953. And hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, my partner, the coach, Dan Bellamini. And Dan, an emotional moment just a couple of minutes ago as John Brockman introduced to this crowd, playing his last game, class act on the floor, class act off the floor.
John has just had a magnificent career, Barry. I mean, look at all the things Brockman has done for the Huskies. I mean, he's an unbelievable rebounder. He can shoot it from about 15, and he is a tenacious rebounder. More importantly, a leader. And that's what Brockman has given the Huskies, his play on the court. More importantly, a guy that has really done it well off the court.
And when you talk about clutch for Washington State, you must talk about Taylor Rochester.
Well, Rochester's had a big year. And you look at Rochester, don't forget, the Cougs have won 3 in a row. How about the game winner against UCLA and Pauley to solidify the win, and then against Arizona State in overtime makes the big 3 to win right at the end of the game. And what a career he has had at Washington State. There's his dad, Howard, putting up the thank you Pullman sign. So Rochester, unbelievable. Should be a big game this afternoon.
Cougs have a lot to play for, too. They can finish anywhere from 5th to 8th at the end of this day. And Washington playing for it all. We're coming back. Huge game here in the Pacific Northwest. We're at Bank of America Arena. Rivalries to be sure, but a lot more than that at stake today as well. Huskies trying to win the outright Pac-10 Conference title, in Washington State trying to avoid the play-in game in next week's Pac-10 Conference tournament. Here's the lineups. First of all, for the visitors from Pullman, it's Aaron Baines with Caleb Forrest, Klay Thompson, talented freshman, and another freshman, Marcus Capers, with Taylor Rochester, about whom we already spoke. Tony Bennett done a terrific job since taking over for his father, Dick, but he knows his team needs to win at least one more game to get into the postseason. They're hoping for the NIT, and of course, if we get in to the Pac-10 tournament, get a little bit of a roll going, who knows what's going to happen. For the Washington Huskies, John Brockman playing his last home game. Quincy Pondexter's come up big this year. They will start the senior Artem Wallace. He has started some games before. Isaiah Thomas, in our opinion, freshman of the year in the Pac-10, and the other senior, Justin Detman. And how about Lorenzo Romar? The job that he's done, not only this year, but he has just built this program.
Yeah, he really has elevated the program, and having a sensational year. I mean, his team, not the same club as they were earlier in the year. They've got a great momentum going. And Barry, a big, big afternoon, trying to win their first Pac-10 championship outright since 1953. All right. Here to the Principal Financial Group. Here's our edge of the game, Barry. For Washington State, if you board, you win. When they rebound their opponents, they're in great shape and march to your own drum. That is, control the tempo of the game. For the Huskies, they need to ride that emotional rate. They're playing great basketball. Just keep it going and run, run, run. Let's get the score up in the 70s. If they can do that, the Huskies will be in wonderful shape.
Yeah, tempo is a huge factor here. Needless to say, the Huskies, they want to run the ball. up and down the floor. They have not won this championship, as we said earlier, since 1953. There's a look at the 53 Washington Huskies Pac-10 Conference Championship team, led, of course, by Hubregs, whose jersey, along with Brendan Roy, is the only 2 retired jerseys in the history of basketball here at UW. Can John Brockman's be far behind? That's the question I have.
No, I wouldn't think it's too far behind. And, John is just, what a way to go out. If he can go out with a win this afternoon and an outright championship, heading toward the NCAA tournament and the Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament coming up next week, and a #1 seed, which is important in that Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament.
Now here's Caleb Forrest. He's kind of a wild card in this game. When he scores, the Cougs do extremely well. This is Byrne down at the block, working on Artem Wallace. Byrne again, left-handed, and he'll go to the free throw line, get the foul on Wallace. That little jump hook is a very potent weapon for Aaron Byrne.
Well, it is for Aaron Baines, and right away it looked like Tony Bennett was going to go right at Baines and see if Artem Wallace can defend him. And Artem, you know, in all fairness, was a guy that played and significant minutes for this team in previous years, but last year in the last game of a postseason tournament that Washington did get into CBI, he hurt his leg, broke his leg, could not get the rehab, and quite frankly, really hurt his chances. It never has come back 100%.
So Baines 1 out of 2 at the line. Brockman misses his first attempt, and the Cougs get it. Chesty with Isaiah Thomas in his pocket. Klay Thompson. What a stroke he has.
One of the great pure shooters in college basketball. And Klay Thompson playing well without the ball and did a nice job to free himself up for that shot.
There's Pondexter. Now Thomas, great penetrator. Got a good defender on him at Capers. Thomas just avoids Capers and scores.
You know, he was well defended.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good defense. But it shows you the brilliance of Isaiah Thomas getting that one down.
Gonna get an illegal screen. I believe. No, they're gonna get a hand check on Denton. Caleb Forrest might have gotten away with one there.
It's a great backcourt matchup here this afternoon. The quickness and the speed of the Huskies, and see if Taylor Rochesky can handle it along with Capers. They got a big job on their hands because the Huskies are very disruptive at the defensive end.
Klay Thompson windbound. Now Rochesky had 33 plus the game winner against UCLA, as you mentioned earlier. He was only 2 of 11 in the victory the other night.
Yeah, against Arizona State, and made the first shot of the game for Washington State. And by the way, made the last one in overtime, a 3 to win it.
They're going to make 2. Those are an important 2. There's Caleb Forrest. As you said, he's kind of a wild card. When he scores, Cougs do a lot better.
They're going to double Brockman every time he gets it. At least that's what it looks like initially.
Pondexter.
Well, there's X factors on every team, and I think Pondexter's the X factor for the Huskies. He many times goes unnoticed, but all he does is get double numbers. He gets 7 or 8 rebounds. He doesn't turn it over much and shoots at a good percentage. And a defender now.
Here's Baines again. Baines being worked on by Artem Wallace. Crowd wanted to travel. Rochesky, tough shot. And Baines the rebound. They're trying to go high to low here. Jump hook with the right hand. He does that with either hand, and he's very effective.
Very talented at the low block. Aaron Baines, as you said, he's got that beautiful jump hook, and you have to push him away.
Good screen by Brockman. Thomas, Capers comes out on him. Thomas fires. Yeah, well defended. And Baines with a rebound. Snatches it away from Pondexter. Exactly the start that the Cougars would have wanted. Rochesky behind a screen.
You cannot allow Rochester to come off screens without being defended.
There's Brockman the other way off the side of the backboard, gets it back, and it's controlled by Klay Thompson. Here's Capers one-on-one with Detman, and Capers will take it all the way. Rejected beautifully from behind by Pondexter, and he kept it in play. Detman for three.
Well, I'd say that's a 5-point swing.
I'll say.
One of the leading rebounding teams in the country. The Washington Huskies, they showed you why. A block and a transition three.
Thompson got away with the travel, but Caleb Forrest could not convert.
There's your double. And see, Brockman is really smart about recognizing two players on him and then giving the ball up to the open player.
You're going to say that Thompson did not get all ball. Looked like he got an awful lot of the orange. We'll take a timeout. 15:52 remaining to be played here, and it is a 9-7. 2-point ball game early on, and that's what the hometown Huskies were trying to achieve once again. 1953, their last outright title. Remember 1953, Dwight Eisenhower, of course, was the president of the United States, and his vice president, I am not a crook, Joseph Stalin, passed away. And Sir Edmund Hillary became the first to conquer Mount Everest. He did so with his Sherpa guide, Tenzing Norgay. Bob Hubregs was on that 53 team. He's here in the audience today, has been a loyal Husky fan ever since playing for the Huskies and putting up huge numbers. You look at some of his statistics from back in 1953, startling.
Yeah, startling statistics, and of course the first-team All-American, Barry, and they went to the Final Four in 1953 and lost to the eventual national champion, Indiana Hoosiers, who beat Kansas by 1 point in the finals. And then Washington, there was a fourth-place game, and they went on to beat LSU, who had a guy by the name of Bob Pettit.
I remember him.
Now, 53 was the last outright championship that the Huskies have achieved. Now, they did get a share of the crown in 1984 and another share in 1985 in the Pac-10 championship.
Once with Oregon State, once with UCLA. This is Capers up top. Kick from Pondexter. Keep talking about guys in this league that have improved. How about this guy?
Well, remember that Quincy Pondexter, when he first came into the conference and first year for Washington, I really felt he tried to do a little bit too much. He took some bad shots. He was a little too overzealous, and he's really allowed the game to come to him now. He's had a tremendous junior year. This Washington team loses some players, but they're still going to be pretty good next year.
I'll say they are. Detman gets it ahead to Overton. Overton all the way to the basket is mugged by Capers.
Well, here's the quickness and the transition of the Huskies, and Vanoy Overton, a good move all the way to the goal to pick up the foul, and another young man who's accepted his role. They started last year, most of the year. You know, it's tough not to start and be as good as Vanoy Overton. Isaiah Thomas comes in, who I think will be the freshman of the year at the conference, and Vanoy has just kind of stepped into that third guard role and has played significant minutes. I mean, he'll play starters minutes, but it takes a special person to be able to adapt to that particular role.
A great on-ball defender, and he's matched up on Washington State's offensive end with Taylor Rochester. That's really going to be an interesting matchup to watch.
I really thought Jorge Gutierrez in California and Vanoy Overton, in terms of on-the-ball defenders, was as good as any two in the league, along with Daniel Hackett. I think Hackett at USC is a great on-ball defender also.
Rochester let him go, and they made him pay. There's a lot of physical contact, a lot of hard picks being set in this game. That was something that Tony Bennett at practice yesterday was emphasizing. He kept yelling at his players, go at it harder because you're going to be playing John Brockman tomorrow.
There's the double, and again, Brockman passing out of the double screen. Still a good shot. Get a quality shot.
And again, bodies falling everywhere.
Got to stop him. He's going to shoot it there.
A floater. That's a shot he loves and will not miss that very often. Hit a little too hard, though.
Terry, that's a 1953 shot.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
That's a
little shot you shoot.
Hey, that's a Johnny O'Brien, who used to an All-American in '53 for the Seattle.
That's right.
University of Seattle. That's kind of his shot, a little floater.
Next in the lane, comes up a little short, tries to get his own rebound, can't do it, and it's pulled down by Kukovica. Here's Clay Thompson. Had a good look, just couldn't get it to fall, and Kukovica is going to draw a foul on Quincy Pondexter. Well, you were just mentioning this. Here are the All-Americans from 1953. Bob Hubriggs, Ernie Beck of Pennsylvania, Walter Dukes, one of the first really effective and athletic big men.
And how about Tom Gola? What a great player. And Johnny, remember Johnny and Eddie O'Brien, the O'Brien's twins, played at Seattle. And Tom Gola, by the way, at LaSalle, didn't win the national championship in '53, but won it the next year in '54. And then the USF, University of San Francisco Dons, won the next 2 years after that.
Thompson misses another pretty good look, and it's going to be out of bounds to the Huskies.
There's the great Bob Hooks Hubriggs.
Still a great fan here, as we've said. Looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks great. He really does. And people forget what a prolific scorer he was in those years. I mean, you're going back, you know, I mean, it's not like it is now. And he was just sensational.
Nice delivery that time from Holiday. And Caleb Forrest fouls John Brockman. Brockman will go to the line. This is a very physical game so far. The officials are letting them go, too.
Washington State foul on number 52, Caleb Forrest.
First personal on Forrest.
And Barry, remember, the Cougars have won 3 in a row here in Seattle. So now a little bit of a win streak. This is not going to be an automatic for Washington to win this game and claim an outright Pac-10 conference championship.
Oh, by no means. And you mentioned this earlier, but Washington State comes in here playing as well as they played all year long. Won 3 games in a row, won at UCLA, beat a very good Arizona State team. Brockman comes up empty.
And a good Arizona team.
Yes.
And Tony Bennett trying to get the postseason play. He would think he may need one to get to the NIT. He'd love to get to the NIT, but you know, then he said, what do you think it would take to get to the NCAA tournament? Besides winning today. He said, well, you may have to get into the Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament and get all the way to the finals. But they're not out of the question.
I'll tell you what, I think there's 5 or 6 teams that could, with a little bit of luck, there's a great conversion by Overton and one. Gives his team the lead again. I do. I believe 5 or 6 teams could, if they get on a roll, win the tournament.
Well, they can. I think that's a very valid point. And there for Noe Overton. Now, how did he make that shot? Left-handed or right-handed? And remember, he's left-handed. He made it right-handed. He did an excellent job, a marvelous move, and used the offhand to get it up on the sweet spot.
And Overton converts a 3-point play, and his team leads by a deuce.
Looks like they're going to try to speed the game up by going press, and it works. It sure does.
Holiday gets the steal, a pull-up jumper at the elbow.
I think here's another young player in Justin Holiday, who I think is going to be a very effective all-around player for Washington. Speed it up.
Nice touch pass by Kukovica, and Castro is fouled on the way to the basket by Gant.
Here's your fast break and a good way to break the press, and Castro does a good job attacking it and gets to the foul line.
Castro goes to the free throw line. Castro just about 62% at the line. Now Baines is going to come back into the lineup. Caleb Forrest will leave. And Capers also is going to come back for Washington State. And Nikola Kukovica will leave.
Castro, interesting, is from Spokane, went to Ferris High School. Didn't lose a game his last couple of years in high school. So, you know, I mean, he's definitely used to winning.
Guy with a big upside.
Yeah, no question. A shot blocker, really good rebounder, plays hard and very effective. You're going to see him in that lineup full time next year.
Got a switch here as they have Castro and Thomas for a moment. Now down low and unable to hold on to it was Matthew Brian Hamlin. Baines picks up the loose ball.
They love to start Rochesty away from the ball, Gary, and try to bring, look at Overdale. See, you didn't think about Manoy. Overdale doesn't let you catch it. Rochesty's going for it, but it's hard because, you know, he's like an octopus. He's got all kinds of tentacles coming at you.
He is so quick. Dogs by 2. Welcome back, Dogs over the Cougs by 2, and we're joined by a very special guest, the governor of the state of Washington, Chris Gregoire. Governor, what a great event this is. First of all, I know what a great sports fan you are, and to see this is the only show in town today.
This is what college basketball is all about.
We talk about being politically correct. You've got to be that today because I know you went to the University of Washington. I know somewhere inside you probably bleed purple, but you got to be on the fence today. Huh?
You know, it's great for both teams. Both teams have shown they're really great this season, and I'm just so excited for both teams. And there's a third team that I also want to go to the NCAA, and that's Gonzaga.
Well, I know that's where you went to law school, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah, Chris, what would it mean for the state of Washington to have like the University of Washington win their first outright Pac-10 championships? It's really go back to 1953.
Do you have any idea how exciting? We haven't come off the best football season. So this is an amazing day. It's very exciting for everybody in the state of Washington.
How about John Brockman? He's a pleasure to watch, isn't he?
Well, you know, he's a great basketball player, but he's a great kid, and he's just considered for Snohomish the favorite son, and he is for all of Washington.
Well, Governor, thanks. We really appreciate you stopping by.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Governor.
Thanks.
It was a pleasure.
Much. Yeah, have fun.
That's the governor of the state of Washington, and she's having fun, and we're having fun, too. Right now, 15-13 ball game with the hometown Huskies in front of the Washington State Cougars. See the turnover numbers. Rochesty, nice lead this time for Castro. Castro thought about it. Now he puts it on the floor as it poked away from behind by Thomas. Out of bounds to Washington. Huskies lead it by 2, coming down to 11 minutes remaining to be played here. Weaves his way through. Everybody comes up with the left hand, all but the finish. It's going to be out of bounds off of Aaron Baines. It'll be Washington ball.
Well, without Brockman in the game right now for the Huskies, you know they're going to feature their backcourt. So it's really important for this Brockman. Brockman's not going to be out for very long, but Lorenzo Roman wants to give him a little bit of a break the first half.
Huskies have already played 9 players.
Well, they do have a good bench.
Yeah, they do.
They've got guys that come in are productive.
Well, we keep talking about this, that the success of Washington is not really dependent on John Brockman or on Justin Detman or on any individual. And we've been saying this all year, but they really are the sum of the parts. And when we say that, what they have is a lot of role players. Here's one of them in Holiday. Good defender. Gant, another guy who's really in there predominantly for his rebounding. Double screen now, and they pop Thomas out behind the screen.
And Matt Brian Amity, I think, is another player that's really made big strides. And I think will be a much bigger scorer a year from now. He's getting better and better.
It's a pretty good job that time by Thomas to just try to break between 2 defenders and draw the foul. Take a look now at our U.S. Navy defenders. We're really here talking about the Washington State defense. They've led the Pac-10 5 straight years. It started with Dick Bennett, and his son Tony just picked up where he left off.
Yeah, it's a terrific defensive team, and of course it's a club that likes to play the game in the 50s and the 60s. They shorten the possessions, but they give you multiple defensive looks, and they do a very good job of keeping the ball out in front.
Well, right now the game is at their tempo. Nice play by Thomas. Open is Overton for 3. Not this time. Brockman runs it down. Thomas again this time stepped into the free throw line. How quick is that? Neither team shooting it very well, and I think part of it is because of tenacious defense. They're going to get a reach-in foul this time on Pondexter. It has been a physical basketball game so far. Each team with 5 team fouls.
So Pondexter, Barry's going to stay on the floor with the 2 fouls. You see Castro, who just came out. And both coaches trying to, use their bench quite a bit, give their guys a little bit of a rest in the first half.
Both teams just 5 of 13 from the field so far. And it's a result of tenacious defense. Here's Rochester with a good look. He can't get it to fall. Thomas runs it down for the Huskies.
You got to stop the ball here because Thomas he'll just keep penetrating if you don't address him and try to force him to take the ball off the ground.
And this time Denton turned the ball over. Carried the ball.
I don't think Lorenzo Roman lets out that call. He sprinted from one end of the bench all the way to the other. And here's Justin Denton. And there's the carry. Looks like, well,
if it wasn't a carry, it was travel.
Yeah, that's what I'd go for the latter. I'd go for the travel.
There's Caleb Forrest. Forrest brings Can out with him. We drop it down low to Baines, who draws the crowd. Koprivica puts it on the floor, drives on Pondexter with the left hand.
Yeah, remember, Koprivica is a player that would rather drive than shoot the perimeter shot. Well done that time.
They did a pretty good job of bodying Thomas up. That's prevented him from getting to the basket, but I haven't seen anybody prevent him from doing that all year long.
No, but the Cougs have done a pretty good job so far containing him. It's very difficult. We've said it before. Look at this move to get all of it. Now that's something, right?
No, you would think, huh?
Well, I thought it was something there. Either a traveling or a jump ball or a foul or nothing.
It was a missed shot. Let's go with that. We're tied at 15. And significantly, the game is being played right now at the Cougars' tempo.
See if they go the high screen and roll and try to free up Rochester.
They got Caleb Forrest at the elbow. Too hard. Nobody able to make a shot. Forrest gets on the floor.
Great hustle. Get down on the ground.
They're going to rule this a tied-up ball, and if they do, it'll be Washington's possession.
If you're a young player watching this game, you can learn from extra hustle. When the ball's on the ground, just dive after it. Every possession in the game is critical. Never just try to pick it up.
A little bit of a dry spell for the Huskies who have the ball.
Yeah, they're going on about 4 minutes, Barry, where they have not scored. So this might be an opportune time to try to free up Brockman if you can inside, although they're doubling him every possession. They're going to bring it to Brockman the other way. Now see if they double him here or they got here. I'm surprised that he just didn't turn and try to make a play.
Going to go the other way. And they're going to get Matthew Bryan Ammoning away from the ball on that foul. So once again, full court pressure. They'll look to trap here. They get it into Forrest. Forrest waits for help. Now Rochester will bring it across. Caleb Forrest, little pump fake on a man in the air, pull up the free throw line, still can't get one to fall. Baines keeps it alive for Thompson. So neither team able to get a shot down.
See if they go to Baines, and Baines has the jump hook.
There it is, and he's short with it. Brockman did just enough. Isaiah Thomas now for the Huskies. Neither team able to find the basket. From the corner, that's Turner, won't go. Baines with another rebound.
Definitely the tempo in the Cougs' favor right now.
Well, neither team able to make a basket. There have been some high-quality shots attempted. Here's a steal this time, or a loose ball anyway, picked up by Turner. Turner leaves for Denton a little bit too much ahead of him, and now he travels. And we're going to get a timeout. Both teams now making a few mistakes. Just trying to make things happen, maybe too much. Tied at 15. Tied at 15 with 7:33 remaining in the half. Each team just shooting 33%. Of course, the Huskies trying to secure undisputed first place in the Pac-10 Conference. UCLA took care of business already against Oregon. So if the Huskies lose, they will have a share of the title, but haven't done it alone since '53 when Ian Fleming published his first novel. Casino Royale was Ian Fleming's first, and Playboy magazine debuted. Who was on the cover?
Marilyn Monroe.
That's correct. New York Yankees won their 5th straight World Series. They beat the Dodgers in 6 games that year. Well, neither team really able to find the basket so far. Washington State 6 of 18, Washington 5 of 15. There's been some tenacious defense being played, but there's also been some open looks that have not dropped.
Barry, back in '53, who won the NFL championship?
How about the...
Think about it. They didn't win a game this year. Didn't win a game.
The Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions. I knew you knew that. Beat the Cleveland Browns.
I knew who the quarterback was.
Was it Bobby Lane?
Bobby Lane. Very good. The backup was Tobin Rhodes. In the corner, Thompson. In and out.
It's a great look. Wonderful pass. And, of course, Klay Thompson, prolific scorer and shooter. I mean, that was pure. The ball is not going down for either team.
This is Turner. Turner dropping down to Brian Ammoney. Nice job by Forrest.
See if they get him over the back on Boston. They may. Away from the ball. Watch the shot. Watch the pass, too. Look at that. You look at this. How did this ball not stay down?
First foul on Brockman, but now a shooting situation.
One of the bright young stars really in college basketball, Klay Thompson. And the one thing I'd like to see Klay improve upon next year, I'd like to see him go to the basket a little bit more. He's a wonderful shooter. He's only attempted 25 free throws for the year. Now he's made 24 of them, which is pretty good. But you would like to see him get to the foul line a little bit more.
Baines gives his team the lead by a point. Now by 2. Cougs on a 6-0 run, but it's taken a long time. Washington has been dead in the water.
See if they swing it back to Brockman, who's all the way underneath. They do it that time. Finally, Pondexter gets one down. That's the first score for the Huskies in a little over 6 minutes.
So tied again at 17. Baines working on Brockman. Jump hook with the right hand. That was easy. Good position that time.
My favorite shot.
He's got that shot with both hands.
He has it with both hands. He's tough. He's tough to cover in there. About 6'10", and he shoots that jump. But you play behind him, he will make that.
Here's Brockman, spins, scores. That's his first basket of the game. I like it a lot.
How'd you like? That's a little quickness there on that one. That's his first score of the game.
Well, look at Overton's hands, and then the trip. They'll get Overton for that. It was inadvertent, but it was a trick.
And if you don't call it, it's a breakaway layup. And there was definitely some contact. So here's the tenacity and the defensive. That's inadvertent. He definitely, they got tangled up. It is a tough call. When you saw it on replay, fans don't like it, but now it's a bonus situation for Rochester. He's one of the better free throw shooters in the country.
Well, the crowd letting you know what they feel about that call.
That's some great free throw shooters in this league. And there's Howard Rochester, Taylor's dad. Got to be proud of Taylor. I mean, what a sensational career he has had at Washington State. The Derrick Lowe Rochester combination was lethal last year, but Rochester's just he just kind of picked it up right where he left off a year ago.
He started this year actually very slowly. It's only been in the last few weeks as Pondexter ties the game. And
there's Roscoe
Pondexter, that's right.
And of course, Roscoe's brother Clifton also at many games, and they formed a dynamic combination themselves way back for Long Beach State.
Well, this is a physical game again. That little jump hook with the right hand. They're allowing that entry pass, and Baines is really making him pay. Denton drives, now kicks out. Pondexter lost it, picked up by Thompson. Thompson got to wait for help. And a reach in on Overton.
Barry. Watch Aaron Baines here, and they're going to just initial and get him the ball. Baines very effective at backing guys down. Look at him back all the way down, and then with the little jump hook, a beautiful touch on that jump hook. Aaron Baines has really had a very good first half for the Cougars.
Overton called for a second foul, and another one he didn't believe. And Thompson, this is only his second free throw of the year. Baines now with 9 points, 5 rebounds. The difference in the game so far.
Yeah, Washington State has to keep him out of foul trouble. And they need him on the floor for at least 35 minutes this afternoon.
This time they're going to get Thompson. And it's getting a little chippy out there.
Yeah, there's a lot to play for both teams. Yeah. But obviously, for the Huskies, they're trying to win a Pac-10 championship outright. And don't forget, Washington State trying to get to postseason play. They've got the momentum going into the Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament. I mean, if they can upset win this afternoon, going into that tournament, they do avoid a first round game. And Tony Bennett, who knows, Tony Bennett's team could kind of roll in the Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament. I mean, they're as hot as anybody in the league.
Overton rolls that in.
Number 2, Isaiah Thomas for the Huskies.
Now, the last time these two teams hooked up, it wound up being kind of a blowout win for Washington in Pullman, first game of the season. But it was a very close game, 2-point game at halftime, and a very close game until there were about 10 minutes to play in the game, at which time Washington kind of took it over on the travel.
That's Vinoy Overton again. And Rochester a little bit frustrated, but he did drag the foot. But he was defended heavily by Vinoy Overton. And Vinoy did a smart thing. He made a left-hander go right and did a beautiful job to close on him and force that turnover.
Away from the basket. Pondexter.
Pondexter again gets proactive. Yes, he does.
And he can thank Overton too. Nice little screen by Overton.
But you know, Pondexter's playing with that lure of confidence. I mean, he's got 10 in the first half, and he wants the ball. Rochester,
he went down hard. That's a good no call there, I think.
Look at Rochester under the goal. Look at him trying to play without the ball.
And the floater with the left hand too hard again. Second time he's had that shot. He loves that shot. But the second time he's banged it off the glass too hard. Here come the Dogs, and that's Thomas for 3, and it won't go. Almost went. Koprivica gets it out of there for the Cougars.
And a great job by Washington State to block out. Everybody blocked out, and the ball fell on the floor.
There's Capers. Capers loses Thomas for the moment. Now Rochester, and he lost the handle, but we're going to get a foul on Overton. That's going to be his 3rd. And that's a huge foul right there, because Overton, a difference maker, especially on the defensive end, just picks up his 3rd personal foul. Dogs by 2. Take a look at our Volkswagen game summary. Pondexter with 10 points and Baines with 9. Those are the leading scorers. These two teams have hooked up. You believe this 259 times.
259.
You said earlier, Washington State of late has done very well in this building, and this is one of the toughest places in the Pac-10 to play now.
And the Huskies have only lost 1 game here this year. They lost in triple overtime to California.
Tony Bennett.
One of the real good guys in college basketball.
He is.
Took over for his dad, Dick Bennett, who really set the tone here at in Pullman. And they've rode a great wave, haven't they? I mean, had 26 wins, Barry, 2 consecutive years, and then, you know, lost quite a few players and had to rebuild. And starting to do it right now. Got a good class coming in. They'll be very young next year, but he likes his team a year from now. And he says we'll be good probably in 2 years. We got a lot of young players. Look at the
Brockman right up over the top. Great play. Yeah, that apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Dick Bennett, not only great guy, great coach, and his son just kind of picked up right where he left off. Congratulations, he's letting go to Dick Bennett and his brother Jack. Had the court named for Stevens Point, where they both coached.
Yeah, and congratulations to both of them. Both outstanding coaches. Well, Baines was there, and Capers might behoove him to take a look at Aaron Baines because he's been really effective. Look at Baines establishing position.
Popovica just a little short. Again, he had a very good look. Denton got Capers in the air, fall away from the baseline. We'll go. Brockman, great rebound, and a great job not to travel. Thomas tries to finish. He can't. Rochester gets it out of there for the Cougs.
Okay, see if they go back down to Baines, who's right under the basket. See if they can bring the ball, reverse it, and put Rochester and Baines on the same side of the floor. There it is.
Now they help.
There it is. I mean, see how they get it. That was still pretty good action, though.
Pondexter came with the help. Baines tried to force his way between the two.
They doubled Baines that time.
That was Holiday.
You look at that replay, and Baines and Brockman, you could probably call a foul every time down between those two.
Brockman way up at the high post.
The Baines should back off of Brockman when he's at the high post. He's not a threat to shoot it from out there. Here he's tough.
Passes out of the double team again. Pondexter, tough shot following off the baseline. Goes down in the hands of Baines. Minute 38 remaining, first half, 2-point ball game. Well, they had Baines again. Capers drives baseline, floats it up over Brockman, short. And a reach in on Capers.
And if it's Capers, I believe it's its third.
Well, first-class hoops at economy prices, $40 for any doubleheader. That's the price of madness to the Pacific Light Pac-10 men's basketball tournament. Mad Dash to Madness with first prize, a trip to the big dance. For the best seats, don't wait. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. $40 for double dip.
That's a good deal. Yeah, you want to make sure you get involved in that.
Brockman will go to the free throw line. Capers has 3 fouls in the game and has not scored. So Casto will come back into the Cougars lineup, replacing Capers.
There was a story of Jock Brockman in the paper this morning that when he was a young guy and he was riding a tricycle, he had to be 4 or 5 years old. He kind of lost control of the tricycle and it was going downhill. The only way he could stop it was to run into a tree, and there was people watching. So he runs into the tree. And the tricycle is like, discombobulated, and he gets out, and he's all shaky. He said, because that was fun. He goes, I'm going to do it again.
And he has.
He has.
For about 18 years.
So everybody said, as he got older, he probably will be a pretty good rebounder, and contact is not going to bother him a whole lot.
He's got 5 points and 8 rebounds in this game. His team leads by 3. There's Casto. Brockman is there. Brockman got a piece of it. And it comes down again. Great effort. Casto got a finger in the eye.
Really important now for the Cougs to stay close.
Couldn't finish it, though, and it's going to be out of bounds off of Baines. So the Huskies will have the ball. 50 seconds remaining in the half. 35 on the new shot clock.
Got to watch Brockman here. Going to try to get the ball back to him if they can.
They get it to Denton, but Rochester fights through a double screen to get to him.
It's a big possession here. Both teams. Cougs need to stop desperately.
Still plenty of time on the shot clock, 20 seconds. There's Brockman. Brings Baines out with him. Little help from Rochester. Now they're backing out again with 9 on the shot clock.
High screen and roll now. Shot clock winding down.
And Denton, the floater, can't bank it in, and it's going to be out of bounds. And they're going to say it's off of Casto.
And I don't think the ball hit the rim. So if the ball did not hit the rim, you do not get a reset. And I think the officials may try to determine that, but I think looks like there's only 1 second left of the 35 because the ball did not hit iron.
TV home of the 2000.
So a 3-point lead by Washington. We've got 1 second to get a shot up. Here are your Pac-10 awards. The Freshman of the Year, we agree on this, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, what a great year Isaiah has had, and he's just been sensational. My Defender of the Year is Jordan Hill. I think he's just a guy that solidifies it inside and blocks out. And my Player of the Year is James Harden from Arizona State. Magnificent all season. And my Coach of the Year is Lorenzo Roma. It's been some great coaching jobs in the Pacific 10 Conference this year, but Lorenzo, I think, has just done a masterful job. They were picked to finish fifth, and just had an outstanding season.
Yeah, he's done a great job here. And again, not only is he, and you could make the statement about Tony Bennett too, not only have a good team, Gant got the shot up and in. Great inbounds play. And Washington on a 9-2 run. They lead by 5. And now they got to hurry here due to Cougs. They got 4 seconds. Rochester long 3, no. Caleb Forrest throws it back up. It would have been good if it went, but it didn't. And the biggest lead really of the first half, at the half, for the Washington Huskies with 1 second left. A key play in this game.
Yeah, and that's really the only thing they had to go to the lob, and they lob it straight up there, and Gant makes a terrific play to get it in. What a timeout that time by Lorenzo Roma. That's why he's Coach of the Year.
That's right. Washington State only 2 points the last 5 minutes. 30-25 coming up on our halftime report. But our scores and highlights from our finals. The Huskies lead it by 5 as we prepare to start the second half here at Bank of America Arena in Seattle. Barry Tompkins, the coach, Dan Belwamity alongside. And Dan, in a game of this enormity, what really amazes me is that every possession has been contested.
Yeah, it really has. I think it's been a terrific defensive struggle and a good job by the big guys inside of trying to score. But it's been not easy to get open shots.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the big guys. That battle has been tremendous. Baines and Brockman, and really not a clear-cut winner so far.
No, not a winner, but you look at that battle, and I think Baines may have a little bit of an edge at the offensive end. I think he's had a very good first half. He's got the patented jump hook, hard to defend. They're trying to move him off the block, but he had a big first half. And of course, Brockman, he only had a couple of field goals in that first half. But look at this move, a quick reaction, taking it to the rim, but 9 big rebounds for Brockman. And again, the Baines-Brockman matchup is really special.
Nothing coming easy as you look at the shooting percentages for both these teams. In Washington State, just 30%, but Washington not a whole lot better at 37%.
Well, normally, don't forget, Washington gets it going a little bit from the outside. No one has really been able to shoot it from deep. Only 1 3-point goal made by both clubs in the first half. They'll pick it up in the second half.
Yeah, I think coaching adjustments are going to go a long way toward deciding this one. One thing that should be pointed out, and that is the fact that the game was played at Washington State's tempo. In fact, in the last 2 games that the Cougars have played, they've only allowed a total of 44 points in the first half. That's the way they like it. But they trail by 5. We prepare to start the second half. Let's take a look at our Volkswagen game summary. Baines, the leading scorer for Washington State with 11 and going with 6 rebounds. Pondexter 10 points for the Huskies. UW trying to clinch an outright title for the first time since 1953. That's the good news, but the bad news is UCLA has already defeated Oregon down in Southern California. And so if Washington State should go on and defeat Washington, the Huskies would not only fall into a tie for the conference championship, but they would lose the #1 seed in the Pac-10 conference tournament to UCLA. And you have to go a long way in that tie-breaking system. We've had great minds up here trying to figure out exactly what it is, and we have confirmed that UCLA would be the #1 seed. Rochester starts it off for the Cougars.
It's a great start to the second half for Washington State. Run out a little screen and roll.
Again, a great job by Baines just to kind of hold ground. Koprivica runs it down to lead to Caleb Forrest, and it's a 1-point game. I'll tell you, that battle on the block is terrific.
Yeah, good job to move Brockman away. Great look by Brockman. Well, if you double up, everybody's got to rotate. Brockman is looking pass first when he senses 2 players around him. And certainly Washington State's got to get their guys to drop down and cover the middle.
Koprivica going baseline, got it over Brockman, but Brockman definitely spooked that shot. Gant with the rebound, Thomas to Dentman. Dentman for 3. Pondexter, great rebound lead for Brockman. Gant pull up. Finally, Baines gets it out of it. You can see Washington try to push tempo here, try to push pace.
They're trying to get it up and down a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Huskies go full court press maybe somewhat in the second half. It worked in the first half, and they did get a steal. Got to help out here. Cannot leave Rochester. Here's the high screen and roll. And anytime Taylor Rochester turns the corner and is uncontested, he's going to shoot it. Otherwise, he gives it up. Big game by Caleb Forrest. Got his confidence, Barry. He made that first shot, and now he's proactive looking for the ball.
Back to a one-point ball game. Rockman out away from the basket. Now Thomas. Haynes jumps out on him. Rockman gets it back in the hands of Thomas. There's a screen. Thomas to the basket. Baines, great job. Big-time play defensively.
Really was. Now you got to hustle back.
Koprivica is all day to shoot that and still missed it. Reach-in foul, frustration foul.
Well, Nicola, he has struggled from the perimeter. And I think he hesitated. He wasn't confident when he had the basketball. And then, you know, kind of a double whammy. You missed a shot and you commit a foul.
Koprivica getting the start in the second half because Capers, who normally starts on the bench with 3 fouls. I think also that Tony Bennett would like that a little more experience out there, which he has in Koprivica. They're going to back it out, facing Koprivica out. And Thomas draws a reach-in foul from behind. Let's see if they got Thompson or Forrest. They got Thompson.
And there was not a whole lot of room there for Isaiah Thomas to get the crease in the defense to pick up that foul, but he is super quick and did a good job to penetrate.
Now the third foul on Klay Thompson. So Thompson's going to come out. Capers is going to come in. Capers also has 3 fouls.
So Capers will get the assignment on Isaiah Thomas. Not an easy one. No, there's a lob. See if they go right back to Pondexter. Oh, I thought they did a pretty good job. He was well defended.
Looked like Roscoe's liking it. Yeah.
Well, Roscoe Pondexter was a powerhouse inside player,
I'll say. There's Rochester behind a Forrest screen. Now he leaves for Forrest. Capers drop it down for Baines. He draws a crowd. Baines made the mistake of putting it on the floor. Now Koprivica got 6-7 on the shot clock, and Rochester comes up short. Gant runs it down. And now the Huskies' chance to increase here. They lead by 3. Thomas spins into the lane, put it up over Capers and scores.
Textbook Isaiah Thomas.
Sure was.
You know, he makes those kinds of shots all the time. Our freshman, at least yours and mine,
yeah,
freshman of the year, if that counts for anything.
And it doesn't.
In the Pac-10 conference.
Here's Baines again. Koprivica drives, leaves for Capers. Now Rochester. Baines, he really does draw a crowd. And Forrest spots up, but he can't get it to go. Baines in the right place for the rebound.
And you could see Pondexter guarding Koprivica, number 4, and just trying to help out. Look, he's not even guarding Koprivica. Look where Pondexter is. He's just trying to help out in the middle and said, go ahead, throw it to him and see if he can make a shot.
Rochester has not had good success with that little runner. Denman spot up 3. Not going to miss that very much. And the biggest lead of the ball game. And a 7-0 run for the Huskies and a timeout called by Tony Bennett. 39-31, 15-29 remaining for a hoped-for conference championship. 8-point lead for Washington. They're on a 7-0 run over the last minute and a half, and they have their biggest lead of the game. Watch the patience by the senior Justin Detman.
And a great pass by Isaiah Thomas. And, of course, Detman, a guy that clearly one of the better outside shooters. Look at that, holding that Washington shot. And there's his mom, Barry. Stephanie Detman's got to be really proud of her son. Little wave there. And coming all the way from Carbondale, Illinois. What a career he has had here at Washington. Take a look at the standings right now as we sit at this moment.
It's all in Washington's own hands. They win this game, they win the outright championship for the first time since 1953. They lose this game, yes, they get a tie for the championship with UCLA, but when it comes to seedings in the Pacific Life Pac-10 Conference Tournament next week, UCLA would have the #1 seed.
And it was a very complicated tiebreaker to get UCLA all the way to that #1 seed. That's a big if the Cougars could come back and win this game. But it's been a 7-0 run by the Huskies with that Denton 3 and a timeout by Tony Bennett. So coming back out of this timeout, critical to answer if you're Washington State. And Rochester, certainly a pivotal player as Denton gets a rest. Now and see, I thought that Washington might try to pick it up, get that. When we thought a real key for the Huskies was run. And sometimes you can establish that running type offense by your defense, picking up full court and getting some steals.
So now here's Rochester. He's been quiet. And Koprivica might have just hurt himself. The floater by Thompson is good. Koprivica trying to shake off what looks to be a left knee injury. He's had problems with that knee before. There's Thomas. Thomas gets into the paint again, but this time Forrest cuts him off.
Here's a tough isolation. Brockman and Isaiah Thomas. Tough to defend that one.
Good shot to baseline that time. There's Thomas again. Thomas pulls a triple with 4 seconds remaining. It's pulled out by Koprivica, so obviously he's okay. There's Rochester. Rochester takes it all the way. Nice lead for Baines. Baines wasn't quite ready for that, though. Here comes Overton the other way. 1-on-2. Overton all the way. A little hard off the window, but it'll go to the line. And we'll take a timeout. 39-33. Washington with the lead. They'll go to the free throw line when we come back. Dogs trying to do something they've not done since 1953. They lead it by 6. Back in 1953, we mentioned this earlier, Dwight David Eisenhower was the President of the United States and Richard Milhouse Nixon was the Vice President. What else was going on? Well, Marilyn Monroe became a big star. She was on the cover of Life magazine with Jane Russell back in 1953. Mickey Mantle was in his 3rd year with the New York Yankees, and he was the deal in the Big Apple. 1953, the last time Washington won an undisputed conference title. A lot of other stuff happened there too.
Yeah,
remember Little Mo?
Remember Little Mo? Maureen Conley, at 19 years old, was the first woman to win the Grand Slam in tennis. She won the Australian, the French, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open. Little Mo, Maureen Conley, back in 1953.
Ben Hogan that year almost won a Grand Slam in golf, but he didn't win the PGA. He won the British Open, won the U.S. Open, he won the Masters. Native dancer, I beg your pardon. Native diver was the son of native dancer, but native dancer won 2/3 of the Triple Crown, but he didn't win the Kentucky Derby.
I won the Preakness and the Belmont. Dark Star, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
I knew you knew that.
I didn't. Written by Bill Shoemaker.
He won the Kentucky Derby, maybe.
Rochester, nice little play, but he couldn't finish. Everything but the finish. Rochester comes away shaking his head. That was a big basket.
Yeah, they can ill afford to pass up those opportunities. Beautiful little bounce pass that time by Baines. Rochester just could not get it down. They're going to isolate now Pondexter.
And again, got a hand on it. They're going to say this is going to be off of Pondexter.
Yeah, this was a huge miss for Washington State. Obviously, there's a lot of time left. Look at this little back door, and you drop it off. It's a great cut with beautiful spacing, but one thing missing. You got to get it down. And certainly Taylor Rochester, he's going to come back. I mean, they're only down 7, plenty of time left.
Well, you can see he's got some tape on his right hand. That's a great job.
Watch Overton #1 against Rochester. Now, finally, Rochester got the ball, but Overton's trying to face guard him without the basketball and force someone else to shoot the ball.
Now it's Denton on Rochester. Waiting for help. Got 8 on the shot clock. Rochester, good look for 3. And that's an equalizer. Makes it a 4-point ball game. Rochester with 11.
People wonder, how did he miss a layup? And he made that shot.
Well, he started to say he hurt the ring finger, sprained the ring finger of his right hand, and he's got two fingers taped together. They're going to get Baines on this foul, not on his shooting hand, though.
All right, here's the screen and roll. They're going to get Chesty to come right off the screen and roll. And they're gonna, now, if you don't pop out on him there, if you don't step out and contest him, he's going to make that shot. Just like Jerome Randall made a few shots against Arizona on Thursday night.
Let's see. Dexter a little bit short. Scramble for the ball. Great job by Gant to control it in traffic and get it up and in. And the lead is 6. I'll tell you, Rochester getting all he wants from Overton.
Look at Overton move his feet. Look at him try to keep those arms out.
Overton, remember, playing with 3 fouls and he's still playing aggressively. I'm sure that Lorenzo Romar just don't go out there, play your game. You foul out, you foul out.
Well, he embraces defense. He just says, let me take the toughest guy. I'm going to work hard. Yeah, I'll commit a few fouls, but they'll know I'm on him before the game is over.
I'm sure Chesty knows that now. Chesty, the floater.
See, right there, the mindset of Overton was overplay his left. But you got to get a little bit of help on Rochester going the other way.
Overton coming back the other way. Forrest got a hand on that. Now play Thompson.
I think if you're the Cougs, get it right back to Rochester.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, no, he's on a little bit of a roll. Right? That's a Klay Thompson foul.
Sure is.
And how do you like him? How do you like the Cougs?
Well, we talked about what a pure shooter he is, and this has gone from an 8-point game back to a 1-point game. So don't start thinking about your celebration dance quite yet. There's Overton working on Thompson. And Thompson's going to get whistle for the foul. It's going to be his 4th. Now maybe they called it a Koprivica. He's saying, you sure it's on me? Rochester, a little floater. It is a 1-point Washington lead with 11:43 remaining to be played. You know what? You could get tickets to the Pac-10 Life, Pacific Life Pac-10 Men's Basketball Tournament at economy prices, $40 for any doubleheader. That's $40 for any doubleheader game in the Pac-10 Conference Tournament. The best seats don't wait. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Well, Nikola Koprivica was right. The foul wasn't on him, and it was, in fact, on Klay Thompson, who has picked up his 4th foul and will now have to sit probably for, I would say, what, 6 or 7 minutes?
At least. You know, the good news for Tony Bennett, he did get a 3 from Klay Thompson before he picked up his 4th foul. So see if that, and the Cougars are not a zone team. They're going to their primary defense, man to man. I'm sure they'll stay in it.
Denton the leaner.
Yeah, prior to that goal, Denton and Isaiah Thomas have taken 18 shots and only made 4. That's a huge defensive effort by the leading defensive team in the conference, the Washington State Cougars.
There's an error pass, but Baines runs it down. Koprivica way outside, 15 on the shot clock. There's Baines working on Brian Amity. Little jump hook. He's tough with that.
See, that's what you call backing a guy down.
I'll say
that was like, I'm going right to the rim whether you're there or whether you're not, and I'm going to make it.
He had Matthew Brian Amity. He looked like he was on roller skates. Now at the other end, Brian Amity trying to face Baines up, draws a crowd. Now he puts it on the floor, takes it to the basket, draws a foul. Good job.
Well, here's Aaron Baines at the offensive end, and we talked about backing a player down, and Brian Amity's trying to hold position. He's got to do it a little bit better and stay strong in there, because Baines will roll you right over going to the goal. Good play by Baines to score.
Meantime, the 3rd foul on Aaron Baines. And Brian Amity, not usually a very good free throw shooter, gets the 1st. Bachman will come back into the Washington lineup. Pondexter will get a blow. So the Huskies will be a little bit bigger with Brian Amity and Brockman on the floor. Fouls could play a part in the outcome here. And Matthew Brian Amity gets them both.
Now, we said at the top of the show for Washington State, you rebound, you win. If you out-rebound your opponent, normally the Cougars in pretty good shape, and they're minus 12.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, in the rebounding stats, against one of the top rebounding teams in the country.
There's a kick out. Kokovica has a good look. Can't get it to go, though. And on a loose ball, Forrest tried to foul Overton and couldn't, and Overton takes it all the way to the 10. Forrest tried to grab him, and Overton was just too quick.
That's a great job by Holiday also to get positioned so that no one could help out. Did a good job to screen that time on that breakaway.
There's the floater again by Rochester. Let's take a look at our principal financial group edge of the game. Here's what we talked about at the beginning. If you're bored, you win. They're not doing that so far.
No, they're not. They're minus 12 in that area. And, of course, you want to march to your own drum. You want to keep the tempo down. But really the tempo now has swung to Washington because they're running. They're doing a good job, and they're staying out of emotional way. This is such a hard place to play for an opposing team. I think the crowd's worth 3 or 4 points here in Seattle.
And you can see they have played well here. They've won the last 3. Rochester's had a big second half. He's got 9 in the second half, 15 in the ball game. And that's just kind of a typical Taylor Rochester line. He plays big in big games, and there's none bigger than this one.
Got to hand it to Washington State for really hanging in there. They were in a period of this game where they were close to being down 10-12, and then the game can get out of control. And Tony Bennett took that timeout, and his team really responded. I mean, you're only 3 down here with 10 minutes to go.
Bachman trying to drive that time on Baines. He did a good job to body him up. Remember, he's got 3 fouls now. Overton, plenty of time to shot clock. They got a switch now. Overton will take it all the way, put the floater up and draw the foul. The basket does not go. I think they'll get Castro on the foul.
Cannot overlook the fact either, Barry, that the Huskies, seems like every game, how many free throws do they shoot?
Always.
I mean, they get to the line time and time again. And why is that? Well, because they're a great penetrating team, and they're an excellent rebounding team. So they get second and third efforts, and they've got some guys at the low block that can do damage.
Well, they've shot 16 free throws so far today. They've converted 11.
Marked improvement from a year ago in terms of their free throw percentage.
Most free throws per game in America, while UTEP, they're shooting 28. But look at Washington right there at 27.4. And as you pointed out, Danny, they're making a lot more free throws. We told you about the ladder drill. Maybe that's the reason.
Well, they put a lot of pressure on their players during practice to run drills, forcing them that every time they get to the foul line, if you don't make it, there's a little bit of a punishment involved. And it's helped. They were not a very good free throw shooting team a year ago.
Kokovica could not wedge that up, and Brockman runs it down.
Numbers here.
Brentman going to back it out. Inside of 9 minutes remaining in the game. It's a big possession right here for the Huskies. Ryan Amning working on Casto. Casto got a hand on the ball and snatches it away.
And that is his strength. Defender, shot blocker, rebounder. Well, they're doing all this, and Cougars trying to hang. Now, don't forget, Klay Thompson's got the 4 fouls not in the game. This is a time Rochester, the senior, I think, get control of the ball.
Taylor Force, that's a pretty good look. Didn't take it. Casto going all the way and one. And he goes down hard into our camera.
How about that? How about Castro saying, I got the loose ball. I got it here with the left hand, and a good call. But looked like Brian Amity was a little bit late. How about the block at the other end? Look at Castro defensively tap blocking it, and more importantly, keeping it in play and securing the rebound and trying to come back with a 3-point goal.
Coming up big at both ends.
What a job Tony Guy Bennett has done at Washington State. Did not convert the 3-point play, and it remains a 3-point ball game.
17 fouls on the Cougars. That could really be a factor. Brockman.
I think that's the other way.
Yeah.
No, I think it's definitely the other way.
And again, it's Casto.
No, that was a very headsy defensive play by Casto to anticipate. Watch Casto anticipate. Look at him in there and does a beautiful job. Oh, that's an easy call.
He's gonna feel that in the morning, I promise.
See, it may be easy for you to say it was an easy call, but I can hardly get up.
Yeah,
Castro,
right.
he took a shot.
And that was just a minute after running into our cameraman. There's a great play by Thomas. Ahead it goes to Holiday to the basket. Big play right there. Now back to a 5-point ball game.
See if they can go right now. See, you got Beans. Brockman got him way away from the goal that time.
Pizza misses a bunny. He's having a tough game. Now a chance to put a little air between them and the Cougars.
See what John Brockman does when he receives the ball, turns and faces, and says, I'll either pass, dribble, or shoot. And, well, he didn't get that one down, but fundamentally, he's perfect in the post.
Rebound for Baines. Rochester looked pretty good leaving his hand. Baines runs it down. Loose ball. And it's picked up by Detman. 2-on-1. Detman lost the handle on his way. They're going to get Rochester reaching in. Tony Bennett wanted a travel call, but I think it was probably the right call. That was Holiday finishing the last basket. 5-point lead. 7 minutes remaining in this ball game. Huskies trying to pin down an undisputed Pac-10 Conference championship. All-time leading rebounders, Mel Counts of the Oregon State Beavers, by 5 over another pretty good player. Yeah, this guy, Bill Walton, he had 1,370 rebounds in his career at UCLA, and the guy that he passed wasn't bad either. Lou Alcindor, later Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1,367. And I'll tell you what, this guy right here, John Brockman, whom we're watching today, is in some pretty select company.
Well, he really is, and of course, John's having a big rebounding afternoon. He's got only 5 points, but 15 big rebounds here. So his career high buries 18, and he's got a pretty good shot of eclipsing that.
I'll say he does. His counterpart, Aaron Baines, has come up very big today too. He's got 13 points and 10 rebounds. So the battle on the block has really been interesting, and both doing a good job. Makes it a 6-point game. 15 boards today, as we just mentioned. 3rd straight year that he's led the Pac-10 Conference in rebounding. Playing in his final home game. Clay Thompson back in the game. Remember, he's got 4 fouls. I would expect the Huskies will challenge him. Big possession here.
Yeah, really no choice for Tony Bennett. I mean, he's only down 7, but he needs the threat of Thompson making some outside shots. So they're trying to set him up right now. They're being defended well by Detman.
Coach beats it. And Thompson again. Thompson lost the handle. And right, we're going to have a discussion amongst the officials here. Thompson did chase the ball because he thought it went off over the Huskies. And it is going to be Washington State ball.
You know, that's great officiating because you don't want to make a mistake. You want to get the call right. And it looked like there the ball did go off of Washington.
5 seconds on the shot clock, though, so the Cougars are going to have to be aware.
Well, this is Taylor Rochester time right here with 5 seconds. You got to get him the ball. He's got to be aware of it, which he is.
And he almost converted that. He drew the foul and almost made the basket. He took a shot to the eye, I believe.
Great heads-up play by Rochester. There's his dad, Howard's got to be really proud of him. The great career he's had at Washington State, and made a good move all the way down to establish a little bit of contact and get to the foul line, and a terrific free throw shooter. As we said earlier, there's some great free throw shooters in this league.
Yes.
I mean, Tawan Porter is an unbelievable free throw shooter.
Jerome Randall.
Jerome Randall's a great one. And
Collison.
how about Darren Collison? He's not a bad free throw shooter in his own right.
Again, a 5-point game, so the Huskies cannot shake the Cougs. Still a world of time remaining. Here's Detman. Thompson jumps out on him, an errant pass, and it'll be a turnover, and Cougs will have it again with a chance to chip away.
And well defended by Aaron Baines. He did an excellent job of moving Blockman away and forcing that pass away from John Blockman. Goes out of bounds.
So Thompson, there's Detman in his pocket. Koprivica again. Koprivica maybe a little gun shy.
Well, look how Pondexter's playing him. I mean, Pondexter just backing off him. Well, look at Pondexter. Look at number 20. He's just kind of locking up the middle. But this guy, Taylor, does he come up big in big moments or what?
He does. He's got 14 in the second half, 20 in the ball game now. And now it's a 2-point game. Cougars just will not go away. That's so typical of Tony Bennett's teams. Crowd wanted a foul. They're not going to get it, but just a spot-up shot by Gantt. There's a follow by Brockman. Sneaky quick.
Yeah, that's a very good way of describing it. He definitely is sneaky quick, especially around the rim. And you think, well, maybe it'd be a good idea to screen him out, but it's tough because he just gets you out of the way and makes a play.
I remember Lorenzo Romo talking about it. He said it's like chasing a refrigerator around for 40 minutes. Baines will go to the free throw line.
Well, great individual effort, especially in the second half by Taylor Chesty. They're setting screens for him, and then he says, you know what, I can just back off.
I don't need a screen.
I don't need one. I don't need one on that. And then, of course, John Brockman coming from the other side of the floor. He's got just wonderful hands and tips that ball in. So great effort by Brockman. Picks up, what, 7? He doesn't have a, he's only got 7 points, but you give him a rebound on that. That's another rebound. So I think probably his total's up around 16.
Baines misses the first free throw. It remains a 4-point game. Now 3.
And again, importance of the game, Barry. If Washington wins outright Pacific 10 championship, be their first outright championship since '53. If they lose, they will share it with UCLA, but UCLA will get the #1 seed because of tiebreakers. Kind of a complicated system. And this game, now that should be a goaltend.
It will be. Got Casto on that. Give the basket to Overton. Overton, incidentally, has got 13 points in the ball game.
What a beautiful drive all the way down the middle, and you cannot pin the ball on the board or touch it when it's up there near the cylinder. And a good call. So Lorenzo Romar wanting that championship and #1 seed, the Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament. It has not come easy, and he knew it wouldn't this afternoon.
It's not a done deal yet either. We mentioned 1953, the last time that Washington had held an undisputed title. You know what the cost of living back then was? $4,000. So it cost you to live for a year. Of course, the average salary, I think, was only $5,000. Cost of a new car?
$1,650. Yeah, there you go. And look at a gallon of gas.
Didn't need any hybrids, did you?
No hybrids at that point.
That was 1953. Now, you know, you've talked about what this game means to Washington. It means a lot to Washington State, too. They get a win here, and depending on what happens in the Pac-10 Conference tonight, they could finish anywhere from 5th to 8th. But most important thing for them is that they might not have to play in that play-in game, so that's one less game.
And the other thing that's really important is they want to be in the postseason play. And, you know, it'd be unbelievable if they won here today and going into that Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament. There will be no hotter team coming in than Washington State. It would be 4 consecutive wins and playing great basketball. And it wouldn't shock you if they went all the way on to win it.
No, they're very capable. That's what I was saying. Certainly Washington can win it. UCLA can win it. Cal is capable of winning it. ASU is capable of winning it. USC is kind of an on-again, off-again team. This is just my opinion. I'm not real sure about them, nor am I real sure about Arizona. But as you said, Washington State right now is arguably the hottest team in the conference.
And I think, you know, when you talk about NCAA tournament Here's my feeling. Washington, UCLA, California, Arizona State, those four are definitely in the NCAA tournament. I think Arizona also has an excellent shot. They need to beat Stanford tonight. I think if they get that win, they're going to be right on the cusp. If they get one win in the Pacific Life Pac-10 tournament, I believe they're in. I don't think USC is completely out of the picture. If they can win tonight, get the 9 conference wins, and win a couple of games in the tournament, they get right back in the mix. So I think the conference still has an outside chance of getting 6. I think they will get 5, but there's still a couple of teams that have to finish with some wins.
Great look for Rochester again. And he buries it to get his team back within 2. He's got 23, and he just makes big basket after big basket.
And here's the question. How was he so open?
That's a good question.
because of the great rotation and some screening by Washington State.
Here's Detman behind the Gant screen. They're going to switch now, but Rochester gets back on him. Detman's going to drive.
I think we may get a foul away from the ball, and it may be a foul against Washington on an illegal screen. How about Taylor Rochester? Look at the rotation. Look at him wide open. He does it again.
23 in the game, a 2-point game. Cougs have the ball. Huskies lead it by 2, but Washington State will have the basketball, a chance to tie or even take the lead. They owe it all to this guy.
Well, he's at 17 in the second half, 23 in the game, and you see Rochester with a variety of shots drive into the goal, and here Koprivica sets him up with a beautiful rotation on the outside, and Taylor knocks down that 3, and his dad Howard looking on, and what a game this afternoon for Taylor Rochester.
That's our Bass Pro Shops in the net.
And don't forget, Taylor even gave up a scholarship a year ago.
That's right.
Barry, so they could recruit Marcus Capers. He said, you know what, you need one scholarship? Just take me off, and I'll pay my way.
So ostensibly, he's a walk-on.
Well, he was last year. Pretty good walk-on. All right. Crowd's going to, and they should get into it because Washington State only down 2, more importantly, with the ball.
Clay Thompson. Thompson playing with 4 fouls. Rochester again with the drive and a kick out. A good save by Koprivica. Koprivica again, plenty of time. 11 on the shot clock. Caleb Forrest won't go. The Huskies dodge 1 bullet. They got it back with the lead. 58-56, 3:20 remaining in the game.
Good job by Baines to back off. You know Brockman's not going to shoot the ball out there. Just wait for him to get to the post, and then Baines has to get himself ready to defend.
There's Pondexter took a look inside. Koprivica trying to body up Pondexter, and it didn't matter. That's a great effort by Quincy Pondexter.
Pondexter's made some beautiful individual efforts at the offensive end.
There's Rochester again, comes behind the screen, runs into Brockman. Brockman controls the ball for Overton. Overton 1-on-2, leaves for Pondexter. Big time play.
What play in the open court.
Pondexter was 16. He can thank Benoit Overton for that one.
Well, the Huskies have turned it up a notch defensively. There's another block. See if they get a foul.
Ooh, tough call on Justin Detman. He got a lot of ball.
Well, this is the Quincy Pondexter reverse in the middle, and just one-on-one. He almost lost it on the way up, but able to recapture it. And there, no calls going all the way to the basket. Bodies flying all over the place, and Overton found him. Pondexter, great hands to catch and finish.
Clay Thompson will go to the free throw line. He's missed his only try today, only his 2nd miss of the year.
To my recollection, he was 24 out of 24 to start the year. Then he's missed 2. Now he's 25, call it 26 of 28. So you'd love to see him get to the line a little bit more. And you do that by going to the basket, and he'll improve next year. He's a terrific young player.
Yeah, not yet a complete player, but an outstanding player. What a really talented freshman.
Well, and it's in the genes, isn't it, Barry?
Yeah, it is. Son of Michael Thompson, of course. I'm sure is watching this ball game.
Remember, Michael was the #1 draft pick in the NBA in 1978.
Going out of the University of Minnesota. Here's where we are in the Pac-10 Conference. Washington 13-4. They win here. They go 14-4. UCLA has already completed its regular season. They beat Oregon today at Pauley Pavilion. They finished 13-5. Arizona State beat California today, so those two wind up in a tie for third place regardless of what happens here. And then there's that whole mishmash. Oregon State plays USC tonight, so they can wind up both at 8 and 10. Arizona plays Stanford tonight, and depending on what Washington State does here, things can really be jumbled in the middle and toward the bottom of the Pac-10 Conference, and it all means seeding come tournament time. Series record 68-48 for Washington. But remember, Washington State has played well in this building the last few years.
Well, in the first game, you know, you saw that score, like a 15-point win for the Huskies in Pullman, but the game was close in the second half. But Washington State, as you said, Barry, they have played extremely well in this facility, 3 in a row, trying to make it 4 this afternoon. And only down 4. If you get the feeling like Washington's up more, but this game is still in contention and still a winnable game, obviously, for the Cougs.
Been a great defensive game on both sides of the floor.
And I think the tempo, I thought it was favoring Washington there for a while, but the Cougars got the tempo back their way. And I think Tony Bennett said, you know, we got to keep it in the 60s. If we can keep it in the 60s, we got a chance to win, even though they're not winning the rebounding battle. And he said, when we win that war, we're like 15-3. And when we lose that battle, we don't win very many games.
Haven't won any.
Yeah, so and they're minus about 13 on the glass this afternoon. All right, here's your spread formation, and you can bet it's going to be Denton and Thomas trying to work from Brockman.
Haven't really challenged Klay Thompson, who was playing with 4 fouls.
Yeah, it's hard to challenge late in the game. You don't want to waste all kinds of possessions in the last couple of minutes. You got to go to your prime players and see if they can make a play. Look at this move.
Thomas drives left hand.
He does it all the time. No, he's a brilliant player. Yeah, I mean, there was a guy playing here 3 or 4 years ago, Nate Robinson, and Nate had that same ability. Small, powerful, could go to the glass, finish shots, could make it on the outside. And this is a big hoop. Look at the kind of between the leg. Don't forget in high school he had 51 in a championship game, so the guy's used to scoring. And Lorenzo Romar touted him over and over to us. He said, wait till you see Isaiah coming in. I mean, he's a guy that'll make a difference.
Yeah, and Lorenzo's not a guy who's prone to hyperbole. I remember him telling me about Isaiah Thomas when we had a football game up here. That was back in October. Talking to Lorenzo, and he said, I got this kid. You're going to really like this kid. He can score in any league. And he certainly has done that, as you said earlier, in our opinion. He's freshman of the year. Amongst a talented freshman class.
Yeah, so you see Klay Thompson, who's a very good player. Of course, Drew Holiday at UCLA. DeMar DeRozan. I think DeMar's had a solid year for USC. He's an exceptional player.
Especially good second half. Well, the crowd here really starting to feel a pending undisputed championship. They're on their feet. They're jumping up and down. The dog pack is really a factor. But this guy with the ball is a difference maker. UW on a 6-2 run. What a screen by Baines. That was a full takedown. Forrest got a man in the air, now puts it off the window. Scored and won.
See if they go the other way. There was contact. One official, I think they're going to go the other way with that. They're going to say it's a charge, no basket.
That's it, no basket. That is tough call against the Cougars. Here it is.
Well, here's the penetration. Good call. And definitely good position. Tony Bennett's wondering, had the ball left his hand? If the ball leaves your hand, I think you count the basket. So are they going to count the basket? Because did the contact occur after the ball left his hand? If it did, the ball's in the air, the basket's good. Not that way in the pros. Pros automatically, if you get a trip, doesn't matter if the ball left the hand or not. That was very, very close. They did not count it.
Yeah, no, Billy Kennedy waved it off almost immediately. So now, an important possession in the sense that this would give the Huskies would equal their biggest lead if they could score here. I use some of the clock as we head down toward 1 minute remaining.
I think it'd be a great idea to get it to Isaiah Thomas again. Well, Dedmon's been great, especially in the conference scoring.
Pondexter, in and out. And the rebound's going to be off of Brockman. It'll be Washington State ball. So don't go anywhere quite yet. 6-point game. 55.9 seconds remaining. Conference championship in the offing. Should the Huskies go on to win?
Get a substitute offense for defense. Get Holiday in the game instead of the 3 guards. Get a little bigger team, stronger defender. So you don't need a 3 here if you're Washington State. You obviously need a score. But you do not need to go 3. Well, they're going for Koprivica. That's not normally the guy you want to shoot.
And they're going to reach and foul on Forrest. He had a good look.
Well, he had a good look because, you know, Washington's not defending him very hard on the outside.
He's only 1 of 8 in the ballgame. And they edge ever closer to a conference championship. 1953, the last time the Huskies had it all to their own side. Two shots to make it 3 possessions. Now the crowd really feeling it.
Oh, you look at that bench, and it's apropos we're shooting the bench because I think, you know, a big strength of the Huskies is their ability to rotate like 9 or 10 guys and not drop off a lot when they substitute. It's been a big factor. It will bode well for them in the Pacific Live Pac-10 tournament and especially in the NCAA tournament.
So an 8-2 run for the Huskies. Now Rochester. Brockman comes out to pick him up. Rochester trying to leave it to Koprivica and a foul. Will be a shooting situation, 1-on-1. Fouls on Pondexter will put Koprivica at the line.
Now you substitute again. Lorenzo Romar going to put the 3 quick guards, get Holiday out of the game, handle the ball, make sure you're solid. A little bit of free throw shooting team on the floor. The quick timeout.
Tony Bennett asking for this timeout. Koprivica will be at the line, 1-1. His team trails by 8, 33.2 remaining in the ball game. That's how close the Huskies are to a conference championship.
And I think you look at that game reset with your timeouts and fouls remaining. The Huskies still have a couple of timeouts. The Cougars don't have any. But I think if you're a Washington State fan, you know, Tony Bennett would love to get into postseason play. We know there's 4 postseason tournaments this year, but you understand there's going to be 129 teams playing in the postseason this year. But Tony, if he can't win the Pacific Live Pac-10 tournament, he can't finish the deal here this afternoon, would like to get consideration for the NIT. I think they'd be a great team to get into the NIT. They may have to get 1 more win, but I think they'll get strong consideration to move into the NIT once the season's over.
They have played very well down the stretch. Now, whether or not that's a factor in any.
Oh, I think it is a factor. I think it's definitely a factor. And don't forget, a home game in Pullman would draw well.
So Koprivica at the line, 1-1. And he didn't get it. But a tough night for Nikola Koprivica.
Got to back it out. You got to back it out now. That's it. You just got to hold the ball. And, well, you sense it now, if you're the Washington Huskies, that they are 26 seconds away from winning their first outright Pacific 10, Pac-10. There's Detlef Schlink, a 2-time all Pac-10 player from the University of Washington, played in that 84 and 85 team, played in the NBA, Indiana Pacers, and they shared the title. Barry in 84 shared the title in 85. His teammate Christian Velp, another great player. Detlef Schlink, Christian, what a dynamic duo that was here at Washington.
Now the bench showing a little bit of a sign of relief that they feel they may have this one. Overton rolls that in, makes it a 9-point game.
They got to shoot 3 here. Got to let it go from deep.
Rochester couldn't get it to go. Thompson, there we go. Rochester again. Now Caleb Forrest for 3. He can't get it. Follow misses by Baines, but a foul over the top with 12 seconds remaining on Benoit Overton.
Now the crowd's going to come alive now.
Brockman gives a nod to his family and the crowd. Washington State has only scored 2 points in the last 4 minutes and 8 seconds.
There's Gordy Brockman. That's John Brockman's dad, his mom, and of course Roscoe Pondexter, all celebrating with 12 seconds to go. There's both families. And John's sister, Kristen, played here at Washington. She got injured, you know, after a year of playing here, but that's why he wears the number 40, because Kristen wore 40 when she played at UW.
Trying to Chase Detman, they're not going to get him now. Thomas will back it out. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, and Novic's just going to hold this, and the Huskies are going to be conference champions for the first time in 55 years. Just an indescribable feeling.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling for everybody here in Seattle, especially for this man right here, John Brockman. Stayed the 4 years, just an outstanding performer. What a way to go out. His senior year wins outright a Pacific 10, and there's a great hug. He and Aaron Baines got great respect for each other. Baines had a wonderful game. So did Rochester. You got to give it up for Washington State. They came in and gave Washington everything they wanted this afternoon.
Absolutely they did. And I still think they're a team that can make some noise in the Pacific Life Pac-10 men's tournament next week. So the Huskies are the champions. They earned it. And they're going to come back out on the floor and celebrate with their fans. And now the dog pack just pouring onto the floor. Well, when it happens once.
Yeah, it really is a great scene.
Once in 55 years.
You bet. You bet.
Let it happen.
And they earned it. They really did. There it is. There's your championship. Look at it. They had them all ready. He was ready to go. He had the jersey on.
Great moment. Great moment for this crowd. Great moment for the Husky fans. Great moment for the Husky seniors. Detman, Wallace, Brockman, those guys won't be back. The guy they're lifting up right there, Isaiah Thomas, he'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back for 3 more years after this, much to the dread, I'm sure, of everyone in this conference. What a moment this is for the Washington Huskies and for their fans here in Seattle. Well, that's a wrap for us from here at Bank of America Arena. For my partner, Dan